Ready to open the hood? UseTool for the tutorials.
And for car parts, the right idea is the Mr. Auto app. Easy, fast, and with better prices than on the website.
You will find the TRW axial ball joint and steering ball joint used in the video through the link in the description. Turn your engine off and engage the parking brake. Loosen the lug nuts on the front wheels. Check the front of the vehicle. We strongly suggest that you watch the tutorial checking your vehicle safely before carrying out this step. And set the vehicle on jack stands. To be able to change the axial ball joint and steering ball joint on your vehicle, you must take the wheels off to gain full access to the steering system. Don't forget to slide the wheels under the vehicle. You can now see the steering ball joint. The components to be removed are very often seized up, so feel free to brush them and to use anti-seize lubricant to make removal easier. With a marker, trace a line between the axial ball joint and the steering ball joint. This will be useful later on during disassembly and reassembly. Using a 19mm spanner, begin by loosening the nut on the steering ball joint on the side facing the axial ball joint. Hold the ball joint with a 19mm spanner to prevent it from rotating. The lock nut is there to prevent any rotation of the two parts towards each other, which could affect the alignment of your vehicle. Using a 16mm spanner, release the nut, holding the steering ball joint. It is now time to release the ball joint from its socket. To do this, use a ball joint remover, which will allow you to easily take the ball joint out of its socket. All while paying careful attention to the marking you drew, unscrew the ball joint, counting the number of turns needed to take it off. This will give you a helpful ballpark upon reassembly. For greater accuracy, we advise you to measure the distance between the lock nut and the end of the axial ball joint using a caliper. Even if you do, an alignment check will have to be carried out by a professional after having performed this operation. Remove the lock nut from the axial ball joint. With pliers, remove the external metallic clip from the protective sleeve of the axial ball joint. With a cutter, cut the outer part of the sleeve so that you can remove it. Using a flathead screwdriver and a hammer, remove the inner collar of the sleeve. Remove the sleeve. Using an axial tie rod iron or extractor, a specific tool for carrying out this job, you can now loosen everything without difficulty. To do this, insert the tool up to the fixed part of the axial ball joint, then with a socket wrench and a long extender, move it in an anti-clockwise direction. If the axial ball joint has thread marks, loosen it using an adjustable spanner.
All parts used in this tutorial are supplied by our trusted partners. These partners also help us create as many video tutorials as possible. Check them out in the description below.
You can find the TRW parts and products used in the video in the link in the description. Take the new axial ball joint and unscrew the lock nut that comes with it. Before installing the new axial ball joint, apply a medium-level thread locking fluid to prevent accidental unscrewing. Using the same tool or an adjustable spanner, tighten the axial ball joint, but in a clockwise direction this time. Finish tightening using a torque wrench. Then remove the tool. Now take the new sleeve and pre-install onto it the colour supplied in the kit. Apply silicone grease to the part of the axle ball joint that will be in contact with the sleeve. The new sleeve is equipped with a stud to be inserted in the air pressure distribution conduit. When you steer, one sleeve is compressed and the other expands so that the air passes from one to the other. This system allows air to circulate between the two sleeves. To make it easier to insert the sleeves, you can turn the wheel so that the sleeve is easier to thread into its slot. You can now crimp the collar with a pair of pliers. Then put the external collar back in place. Crimp it as well. Screw the lock nut back onto the distance measured with a caliper. Take the new ball joint. Push the ball joint in until it touches the lock nut. As you do this, you will affect the steering system of your vehicle. A professional lineman check should be performed to adjust the steering system and to ensure that it functions perfectly. Scrub the socket with a wire brush, then apply silicone grease to the flat part that will be in contact with the ball joint sleeve. Do not grease the inside of the cone. Reinstall the ball joint in the socket. Install the lug nut with a new piece and tighten it using a socket wrench and a torque 16 bit. Finish tightening using a torque wrench. Finish tightening the lug nut by holding the steering ball joint with a 19mm spanner to avoid damaging it. Then you can put the wheels back onto your vehicle. Lower the car to the ground and tighten the wheels correctly. Operation completed.
Hi, it's Theo from UseTool. I hope this video has helped you a lot in your car maintenance. We would be super grateful if you could spread the word so that we can produce even more tutorials. Simply give us a like, a comment, and hit that subscribe button. It really helps us boost the channel and help the whole community. Thanks a lot and have a great one.